Transformers more than meets the eyes. Today we got a really cool video for you. We are going to review the entire series of the new studio series 86 Dinobot series, and we're going to compare them to the original G1 molds of the original Dinobots. Now, when I was a child, and the Dinobots were the bomb. They were the best transforming toys. They looked the coolest to me at the time, and so that was always my favorite of the Transformers, not including the combiners. But I mean, as a whole, the Dinobots were just awesome. I always loved it when they were on the screen, and now we have these giant, cartoon accurate Dinobots here from the Studio Series 86 line, and I really love this series so far. And so we finally got Swoop. So I know a lot of people were waiting a lot longer than me, because I think the original Gridlock came out a number of years ago, and Swoop is finally here, so we can complete the Dinobot set. And I figured, hey, let's do a fun video where we compare the original to the new and improved versions. So we'll start with the robot modes, and then we're going to see them in dinosaur mode. So we can see here, this is the original Slug, and now he's known as Slug. And he is a Triceratops. You can see he's got the red horns there. You can see most of the back is his Triceratops mode. They got really wide feet in the tail down there. And whereas the new and improved, Slug, as he's now known, let's prove that closer. The new and improved Slug is huge. Let's put him upright, and you can see the size comparison between these two. Let's put him front and center. We just knocked down a few. That's okay. You can see front and center how large, like he's more than double the size of the original. And we are going to transform these two offsite. I really do love the head mold. You can see the difference in the head mold. Obviously, the coloration is a lot different. This is die cast, and this is completely plastic. You can see the Autobot insignia is not there. The head is black, right? Hard to see it. And this is nice bright red, as it is in the cartoon. There's no articulation or much articulation in the arms. They don't move laterally. They only move, up and down. No, they don't even move that much. They're very stiff jointed this way, whereas the feet here, the legs, everything's jointed. I love how these Transformers can really move and are quite posable. They make really great display models now. Whereas before it was just a toy, now they're centerpieces now. So let's take a look. I'm going to take a look at the next Transformer. I'm going to have my son start transforming these off camera so we can compare them in dinosaur modes. So we'll pass him over the original one first, and then he'll take this big one now after. So let's have a look at. We're going to look at the Brontosaurus next. This is Sludge. So Sludge, let me just move Swoop out of the way a little bit. Good. We got Sludge here. You can see, again, the size comparison between original Sludge and the updated version. You can see the head coloration is the same, very similar. You got the white streak or silver streak there. He's got it. It doesn't go all the way over top of his head, but the head shape here is much more cartoon accurate. Again, the toys came first. Remember that. The toys came first in the cartoon. So the artists on the cartoons took some liberties to make them more animated and more friendlier for the audience, as it were. And so we have to kind of keep that in consideration. Again, not much articulation at all. The arms just move up and down. Okay, but they don't move laterally. They just move up and down like that. The feet don't move much at all. They're just there for holding balance. And the one thing about the Dinobots is the original toys had great balance. There wasn't much issues with that. But you can see the size comparison again between original Sludge and new Sludge. Again, almost double in size. So this leadership class is just amazing. Again, the Dinobots versus the original other Transformers, they weren't, like in the cartoon, they're superimposing, right? They're much larger, and they're supposed to be. They're dinosaurs. Compared to the Autobots, the Dinobots were a little bit bigger, but not that much bigger. So that's really nice that, you know, these leadership classes are just amazing. Again, die cast in the side, you can see how shiny that is. Not die cast, but I mean the amount of detail in these Transformers here compared to what we had back in the 80s. I mean, these were awesome toys at the time, but I mean, they've taken this to a new level. So that's, I really like what they did here with Sludge here. And so in a moment, we're going to take, again, Sludge off camera. And we are going to have my son transform him off camera. So we're not taking as much time. And we're going to be able to compare these Transformers at the end in their dinosaur modes as well. So again, much cool, much big upgrade between these toys. The coloration you can see is kept fairly consistent. You got the Autobot insignia there. You got the redness on the chest. It's basically the head shape is much better here, obviously. Obviously the articulation is much better, and the overall sculpt has been vastly improved. So again, I really think the designers have done an amazing job and with this toy. And this was not an easy Transformer to transform. It does take a while to transform this one. His feet are just insane. I don't know how they figured that out, but if you want to check it out, you can watch the original video. But yeah, this one's probably the hardest of the new series to transform. So we're going to pull him offset, and we're going to start looking at Swoop. Now, Swoop was the one I most recently reviewed. So we are going to have a look at Swoop. This is the pterodactyl original version of Swoop. Now you can see the toy of Swoop matches very much with the other G1 Transformers in coloration as far as the toys go. They had the red chest, just like, and it stayed consistent between all the Dinobots. Most of them had red on them, including the Slug, the Triceratops. But in the cartoon, they decided to make a coloration change in Swoop and made him kind of a blue-chested. And obviously they animated the head shape a lot more. So you can see there's a huge difference between the cartoon version and what we got in the toy form. I mean, as a kid, it didn't really matter. I mean, also the missiles, I don't have them here, but the missiles were red as well. But you can see how much more vibrant this Swoop looks. You know, coloration in the feet here, the detail in there, the detail in the beak, and the head sculpt. You know, it's almost a completely different toy in comparison. So I do love the upgrade in Swoop, and it's extremely cartoon accurate. I mean, I loved this toy as a child, and I broke mine. This beak here ripped off my original, and so this is a reissue. So we're going to kind of transform this, and that'll give my son a little time to catch up with the other ones. And so let's flip this out here, and then we're going to, oops, I almost knocked down this Swoop. We're going to collapse the chest here and the arms. Sorry, I think the arms need to go up a bit more. Yeah. And we're going to collapse them into the chest area. This is a little bit hard because he's very stiff in the midsection there. All right, and then when the wings come out here, and then the beak comes up and covers the head, and then we're going to flip the feet in here, and then I think we have to pull the feet out a little bit, and then we're going to just lock them into place here. So that is the transformation of original Swoop. Not overly complicated. The pterodactyl mode here is really cool. We're going to have a better look at that in momentarily. But let's go ahead and transform Swoop here. So again, we're going to take off these things here, And I'm just doing this because obviously my son's transforming a lot of these bigger, the other transformers off camera, and you know, he's only got 2 hands and he's working as quickly as we can. So we want to get this all done in one video. I could have done this, I guess, in 2 videos, kind of looking at one mode and then transforming them and then doing another video for the other modes, but I figured we'll do it this way. So I am actually, well, he's catching up now, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put Swoop off to the side. I'll transform him later. We're going to have a look at Gridlock here. And Gridlock has always been probably my favorite Dinobot. He's the leader, obviously, and he's just the boss. So this is the original Gridlock. I never had an original Gridlock. My cousin did. And you can see it. The funny thing is, I didn't even notice this until I looked at this upgraded Gridlock. His head is so far back. And so that's kind of interesting. The coloration is very similar. You can see as I zoom in, the chest area is very similar. The coloring is very similar. This is die-cast, and this is the nice color here. Let's stand up Gridlock properly and get him out of this pose so we can have him stand up. And you can see, again, the size comparison between the leadership class of the Studio Series Gridlock versus the original Gridlock is like double the size. And it looks like, you know, this is Gridlock's like son. So you know, the sizes difference is mass are like great. You can see the red coloration here and here are the same. The feet, they tried to keep the feet coloration with the stickers very similar. So you get the blue, the red, and a little bit of green there. A little bit more simplified on this, and I think that's the way it was in the cartoon as well. And in the back, similar. In the back, you got the dinosaur head and the flaps for the back there, just as it did in the cartoon. So we will... I might as well start transforming Gridlock here. And I'll see if I can remember how to transform him. My son is a lot better at transforming these than I, because I haven't really transformed these in a long time. And I said I never had Gridlock as a child. My cousin did, so the only time I ever got to play with Gridlock was when I went to his house, or he brought him over to our house to play. Ugh. I don't want to force this in. There he goes. There we go. And then the hands come up here. And then we're going to flip the feet in. Ugh. Pull this back a little bit. Ugh. His legs are a little stiff here. I don't want to break it. Just kind of finesse that down. There we go. So there is Gridlock in his robot mode. So again, not a very difficult transformer to do. And so I am, again, going to help my son catch up. I'll let him do Gridlock off screen, and I'm going to take care of Swoop here. Alright, let's see if I remember how to do Swoop. I'll flip his hands in there. Get them ready. I'm going to lock them in. We're going to bring out the wings. There we go. There we go. And then we're going to flip out the chest plate here. Just zoom back out a little bit. We're going to raise this up. Raise this flap down. Get his head in there and connect that down. And then we're going to flip his head up. Bring this piece down there. And then we're going to kind of finagle his chest plate in. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Get that to lock in. There we go. And let's get all these tabs in there. There we go. I don't know if my chest complies. Oh, there we go. All right, and now the feet. tag those in, get those slid in there. And I think they just kind of slide over here. Yeah, I think I got that right for the most part. All right, there we go. There is Big Swoop, and we'll have a good look at that. And I guess I didn't have to take off these things here. I can just put them back on. There we go. And then we'll put the swords on the side just so we know where they are. All right, let's have a look at the last of these. And I'm just going to put Swoop off to the side there. Gridlock over here for my son to grab later. And let's have a look at Snarl. So Snarl, like Swoop, was not one of the original Dinobots. In the first episode they debuted, they came in with the 3 original ones, which was Slug, as he was known then, and Gridlock and Sludge. And then later on, they introduced the Swoop and Snarl. So Snarl here, you can see, again, in leadership class mode here, much bigger. Much bigger. Again, double the size there. And you can see the coloration, they kept very consistent. The feet coloration are very similar. And again, the die cast is on this one. The articulation is more or less the same as the other Dinobots. This thing only moves his arms up and down. Very limited in what it can do that way. The head doesn't turn at all. But again, at the time, a very cool toy. With this new version, obviously a much more articulation. The head moves, the arms can move out, in and out. The legs can quite posable. So just like the other Dinobots in this series, they're like works of art almost, you know. Very nicely done. And in comparison, you can look at the coloration. They kept very consistent. You know, the red chest, the Autobot insignia on the chest there, as well. The coloration of the arms. Now this one has a little bit of red there from the sticker, not so much red on here, and I guess that's the way it was in the cartoon. And then obviously in the back you got the tails sticking out that way, and here again a little bit of the thing right there. The spikes, I guess, because he's a Stegosaurus. The mid chest you can see is a little bit skinny here, and I don't know if I got the feet right or not. I think the feet actually pull out, but you know, the torso is a bit skinnier here, whereas you know, this one's much more proportionate, and you know, this is a pretty good looking dinosaur right there. So let's go ahead and we're going to transform this into dinosaur mode as well, and we're going to start finishing up, because my son is going to get the last dinosaur, and I'm hoping I can remember how to do this transformer. It's a tricky one as well. You know, not the easiest to transform, definitely not the hardest, but that still belongs to Sludge there. Or sorry, yeah, Sludge is the hardest I found. So, let's figure this out. It's been a few weeks since I transformed this last, and I don't have as great a memory as my son in transforming these toys. But he can do this like in his sleep, and wow. I don't have the memory capacity for that anymore, unfortunately. So let's have a look at, let's see how we transform this. I remember the feet are very important. And this chest plate's, okay, I think I have to turn this thing around here. We're going to open up some flaps. But I got to do something with these feet. I remember there's something with these feet I have to do. Yes, I got to throw the hands down and throw the feet in. So let's see how that works. Oops, I just pulled his foot up. There's a way to do this. I have to do something with the hands. I actually probably will have my son do this transformer. Can't remember how to do the hands. Oh, he's already finished the other one. So let's go ahead and you can transform this one. And we're going to start comparing the dinosaur modes and of all these transformers. So let me bring the camera down a bit because we got these guys lower to the ground now. So let's start with Swoop. It's a little bit harder to do Swoop because he's more flat, but this is the original Swoop here. You can see how much wider the new Swoop is. It's just, let's see if I can get an above shot there. We'll put them like front to back. You can see the wingspan is much wider on the newer Swoop. The head shape, the head of the pterodactyl is much bigger. Love the coloration of the Studio 86 Swoop. Matches completely with the cartoon. And there's nothing wrong with this Swoop because that came first, but the coloration of the Swoop is just bang on with the cartoon. You can see again the coloration of the chest and everything is red here, whereas everything here matches the cartoon, which is all blue. Alright, so that's Swoop. I'm going to actually put Swoop in perch mode now. I guess that would probably be easier when we are comparing all the Dinobots. So let's put the feet down here, and we're going to put him here like that. And again, we're going to bring this Swoop here and bring him like this. And again, when in perch mode, you can definitely see the difference in the size between one and the other. There's a huge difference. So that is Swoop there. We're going to bring him off to the side here. I'm going to bring this sword. That is his there. And then we're going to have a look at who's ready. Gridlock is ready. So we have, that is original Gridlock. And this is his big boy upgrade. So big, he's completely off the screen. There, you can see now the size comparison between the two Gridlocks. It's vast. You can see how much wider he is and taller he is. I like the white hands here. Here you got the die-cast hands. The coloration across the side there. You can see it's a little bit more robotic here with the colorations, and this is more simplified as it is in the cartoon. He's got blue eyes here as he does in the cartoon, and his red eyes there. Both mouths open. These arms swivel up and down a little bit, and these arms are like double jointed. So it turns here, and the arm swivels there, and you can see the feet. Nice gold coloration, very matching there. Tails kind of match there. We got die-cast tail there and a white tail there. Now this Gridlock has a more shorter tail, a kind of more triangular tail. This kind of rounded down a bit more, and I think that's how it is in the cartoon. I'll have to look at that. This back is a slightly different. You can see again they keep the coloration. It has the green and the red and the blue here, same as here. So you know they did a really good job. You know, kind of keeping the essence of the toy, but you know, very cartoon accurate. So that's very good, and I think that's how it was in the cartoon. And again, the cartoon was based on the toy, but with some finessing to make it look more cartoon friendly. And so I like how these are the new Dinobots are the way that I remember them in the show. And of course, I love the original toys. They were just awesome. But you can see the big difference between these as we show them. Much bigger, much more articulate, and obviously cartoon accurate. So my son has finished transforming. So this one is Snarl. And you see Snarl. I really like the die cast on it. It really makes these spikes here really pop in the coloration of his tail and head there. And this is the original one. The newer version, obviously no die cast, so these are more dull, but I mean well done. Coloration very similar You know, we got the red against it, you know, it has a yellow tail. We got the red, the joints and everything. The head shape is very similar as well. But obviously much bigger, much bigger, and obviously, so they did a really good job, you know, keeping the essence of the toy again there, but upgrading it to make it a lot more cartoon accurate and more articulated as well. So I like how they did Snarl. I'm actually going to move Snarl to the side only because I want to bring the other Transformers into view. And so let me just bring these guys over, and we are going to bring in the next set here, and we have Slug, or Slag. Used to be called Slag, now Slug because I guess copyright issues. And so we got and this version, again, as with the other Dinobots in that series, they kept with the red coloration, but in the cartoon they made the horns more grayish, and so they changed that color there. They kept this part pretty much the same. This was plastic, so that in the cartoon this is more yellow, and so they kept that consistent with the blue eyes. And you can see the sides are a bit different. They have this thing here and this thing here. They kind of match there, but a little bit more kind of, the sticker here shows a lot more like the technical aspects. This is more plain. I mean, it looks like it's made of metal, of course, but there's no like gadgets on the side there. And they kept this part where his feet bulge out there, pretty much similar. So again, these were made for the cartoon, to match the cartoon. You can see the tail. Much different here, more of a, you know, duller, clear plastic. This is more obviously yellow. And so that size is more or less the same. And again, you can see how much bigger. I mean, if you have them side by side, you would think this is the mama and that's the baby, you know. And again, you have the Autobot insignia. If you rub on it, it's supposed to, you know, show up there which allegiance they have, which will be Autobot in this situation. So let's bring out the last, but not least. I'm going to put this over here. We got the Brontosaurus here. So let's bring these guys out a bit. And here's the Brontosaurus. We got Sludge. Let's zoom out a little bit. So Sludge, a little bit too close there. Let's move Gridlock back a hair. All right, so Sludge, you can see, again, much bigger here. The head shape is very similar. The tail, both gray. You know, this one's die cast and that one's just straight gray. And you can see that this tail, in proportion, is a little bit longer. It's got more of a peak to it, whereas that doesn't. And I think, again, it must be because of that's the way it is in the cartoon. You can see the goldish color here. They kept it consistent. This one doesn't bulk up nearly as much. You can see the red coloration here, which I think is how it was in the cartoon. This one does not have the red there. You can see the joints here the same. You get that little darker joint there, and so does that. This one here is more of a reddish and greenish joint. That one is very similar to that joint and consistent there, so that not exactly the same there. And the feet are a little bit of improvement over here, of course. Again, you know, the mouths do open on both of them. You can open up both, so that's very nice. Again, this was a really cool toy back in the day. I never had one. I always wanted one, and so we got it here. And then here you can see the eyes are much better. And there you get the blue eyes there, and it's like, you know, very cartoon accurate. You can't barely see the eyes there. And let's look at the front there. You can see, yeah, much bigger, much more menacing. And this one obviously you can attach the weapons to. This one you cannot attach the weapons to. No joints for that, or any slots for that as well. So, and you can see how much wider the feet are here to the skinnier feet here. So they really did a great job in making these this new upgraded dinosaur line, or Dinobot line. And so let's get them all posed up, and finish up this video. Now, if you're watching this video and have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help the channel out. Many of you who watch our channel have not hit the subscribe button yet, and it does really help the channel. So if you can, please do so. It's much appreciated. And when we are aiming to get to 1,000, that's our goal, subscribers, and for our next big milestone. And when we do, we are going to get ourselves a Robosen self-transforming Gridlock, and it has the original voice actor who did the voice of Gridlock in the cartoon. Just as original Optimus Prime did the voice for the Robosen Optimus Prime. And so we're going to pair that up with our Optimus Prime when we get it, and we are going to make some really fun videos for you. So as a special thank you for supporting our channel. And so I hope you enjoyed this look at the Transformers Dinobots series, Studio Series 86, as we compared them to the original counterpart toys as they were back in 84-ish when they came out. And so, you know, almost I guess 40 years later, especially with Swoop here, finally here, these are the new and improved Dinobot series. And again, I really enjoyed you know, reviewing these Transformers with you. This was just a special bonus video just to really kind of tie this series together. And so thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. This is Chucky from Collecting for Fun. We look forward to seeing you guys soon. So thank you again for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.